Long time no see. Whoops, didn't mean to like disappear for I don't even know how long. Too long. I think I'm gonna start a new reading vlog. Let me just tell you what I'm currently reading. So, okay, whisper. Currently reading Cursed Fates, which is book 5 in the Zodiac Academy series. You think I'm far in, but I'm really not. I'm only page 324 out of like 917. I'm chugging along. I'm slowly getting there. Next up, you can't tell what it is, but if you know the edges. I'm finally reading Once Upon a Broken Heart because I have The Ballad of Never After out from the library. I am 109 pages in. I'm on chapter 14, so about that far in. I am surprisingly enjoying it. I read Carval years ago, hated it. So when I got this in my fairy loot, I was like, well, I'm not gonna get rid of it, but I might as well try to read it one day, and that day is today, a year later. Other books that I'm trying to read, first off, Into the Drowning Deep by Mira Grant, aka Shauna McGuire. I'm struggling with this one. I'm only 116 pages in, and I started this back in beginning of August, I think, which is not good because it is October 23rd. Whisper. It's October 23rd and I still haven't finished it. Also, trying to read. I think I've been trying to read this since also August or September, and I'm only 131 pages in on chapter 7. It is The Two Towers. I read Fellowship of the Ring and I really loved it, although it took me like 4 years to actually read and finish it, so I don't want it to take me that long to read this. Ow, ow, ow. Also, look at this cool bookmark I have. So it's a promotional Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring movie bookmark, and look, it has a fucking ring on it, so it became my, Lord of the Rings bookmark. I got It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover because I actually enjoyed It Ends With Us. Yeah, It Ends With Us. I'm just curious. If I want to return it, I can. I kept the receipt. I think this came out like 6 years after the original. I only read It Ends With Us last year because even though I'm not on Book Talk, good lord, Book Talk, all the books they talk about, it's drawing me in. Lastly, Ballad of Never After. Like I said, got this out from the library. I checked this out before I even started this one. So once this one came in for me at the library, I was like, well, I guess I should start this one now. So yeah, like I said, I don't know what to do about this one because it's taking me so long. It's taking me so long, and I wanted to finish this in October. I've only read one book this month. I'll get into that in a second. I don't know what to do about this one. The Two Towers, I'm just gonna take it as a long haul. Like, let's hope I finish it by the end of the year, but we'll see. My reading, how is it going? Atrociously. Okay, so my original reading goal for the year was 75 books. I have read 47 books. I mean, technically I think it's like 1 or 2 more. I think 1 more because I reread The Love Hypothesis Okay, so I'll kind of do a little recap. My reading year always starts out strong. In January, I read 10 books. February, 8 books. And then you'll see a difference. March, 5 books. April, 6. May, 6. June, 5. And then July. July was my worst reading month of the year. Because I read 2 books. One of them was a reread of A Court of Mist and Fury. And the other one was another reread of a poetry book. It's a Lonely Love. And then August reads, I read 3 books. Oh, that's when I read The Fellowship of the Rings. That's even worse than September. September, I read 2 books. One of them was a reread. And October, I've only read 1 book so far. And that is I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I was able to read that book. I had to check it out from the library, but, you know, does not bode well for my reading speed. Now, I've DNF'd. Let's see, I've reread 10 books so far this year. I've already DNF'd 20 books, possibly more, which is unfortunate. I only have 14 favorite books of 2022, which is the lowest it's ever been in a while. So yeah, something I've been doing is kind of purging my TBR. I'm getting rid of at least like 30 to 40 books, maybe more. And I still have a lot of books on my TBR, which kind of stresses me out, but I will be going on a book buying ban. In the first 6 months of 2023, I'm only allowed 3 books a month, preferably thrifted, but only one of them can be brand new. So like January's is gonna have to be what's it called? Final Offer by Lauren Asher. Yeah, because I don't know any other. That's the thing, because most of the books I want to read I own already. I don't have many anticipated books anymore. That's what's been going on with me. I think I'm gonna read Once Upon a Broken Heart because I'm kind of taking a break from Cursed Fates because it's getting stressful. It's getting stressful up in this bitch. Oh, I also came up with an annotation system. So many people in the Facebook group that I'm in, because I'm in the authors Facebook group, have been like, oh my god, I cried at like book 4's ending, book 3's ending, book 2's ending, and I'm just like sitting here on the 5th book like sniffling in the beginning, but I haven't like cried yet. But I'm afraid for the ending of this book slightly, but I'm mostly afraid for the ending of book 7 because literally every single person who has ever posted about that book says I ripped out their heart and stomped on it and they feel like they're drowning in their own tears. So I'm scared. That's why I'm kind of taking a break from this and reading something lighthearted and sweet. I mean, I hope this is lighthearted and sweet. I'm gonna be kind of upset if this book makes me cry or something, because it's like, god damn it, I already have to deal with this series emotional trauma. I can't go through more. I think later this week I'm gonna make an end of the year TBR, which my end of the year TBR is very I can't say very short, but I'm hoping to read most of these books. I'm hoping. We'll see. Because I want to have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books outside of the Zodiac Academy ones, which I still have this book, 6, 7, and 8 to read. Oh my god. My slumpy ass isn't going to do it. I will see you guys tomorrow or something. If you think I don't move from this position, you're right. I don't. I barely read anything last night. I don't know where I was when I last updated. I'm on page 163. So I'm hoping to get up to over 200 pages tonight, because my goal is to have this done by Saturday, and I feel like I can do that. We will see, because this weekend I'm going to Half Price Books, which makes me want to hurry. Anyways, I need to show you something. So Whisper has a food and water bowl right there. Don't mind the flip-flops. But now, Wispy, I was using this Cheez-It box for my Half Price Books that I'm taking. She's claimed it. It's hers now. That's right, Whisper. It's your box. Okay, I'm about to go to bed, but I finished Once Upon a Broken Heart. And so I've read the plot or the synopsis for The Ballad of Never After. And then I went and I was curious, and so I own Legendary. I've never read it, but it's technically on my TBR. I just need to reread Caraval to get to it. I rated Once Upon a Broken Heart 4 stars. Stephanie Garber's writing style is like drastically different than it was in Caraval, which it still makes it a little unreadable for me. Even now, it's just too whimsical. And if anything, I saw somebody online being like, oh, this writing's more whimsical than Caraval, and I was like, did we read the same book? It tasted like midnight? What? I'm sorry. Oh, also don't mind. I washed them. They're drying, but they need their whole bodies to dry, so that is why they're upside down. I totally forgot about that, because for me that's just normal, but it is not actually normal. Honest to God, I have no idea if I'm just going to continue on and start The Ballad of Never After tomorrow, technically today, because it's nearly 1 a.m. It's Thursday. So that's an update, including some rambly thoughts about the Caraval series, because although I've read Caraval when it first came out, because it was completely advertised to me as something different, so I was anticipating it, and I read it, and I fucking hated it, because it was not what I was advertised to, you know? So I never continued on with the series, although I remember when the covers would be released and the books would come out, because I was like, damn, this series has such pretty covers. I found a Fairy Loot copy of Caraval last year. I think it was last year, or maybe it was this year. Oh god, I don't know. Time's weird. And then I found a copy of Legendary at a thrift store, so I was like, well, I might as well. I'm thinking about giving the series another try anyways, because I already owned Once Upon a Broken Heart. And so I've got one down, and like technically three books to go, because I have The Ballad of Never After, Caraval, and Legendary. So rambly 1 a.m. thoughts as Whisper pounds on my doors. Just girly things. Good night. I need to go the fuck to sleep. I apologize if you can hear the fan. Also, the peeps are still there. It is a new day. Today hasn't been fun, but I got books. So, first off, it's a new set of Lord of the Rings books. I've been reading these copies, which some of my tabs are still in. You'll understand why in a second. But, they're older editions, and I've been afraid of damaging them while reading them. So I stopped at Helm's Deep for like, I don't even want to think about how long now. But I swapped some of my tabs into here. So, and I highlighted a bit too. So I read this one back in August, and I really loved it. I've, like I said, just been stuck at Helm's Deep forever, so I also swapped some of my tabs that I had put in, so highlighted a little bit. These are the Fairy Loot tabs that were included in one of the boxes a while ago. I'm going to keep reading with these copies, So as you can see, I have Return of the King. I've not ever read these books, and it's odd because so Fellowship of the Ring goes from like page 1 to 407. And this one picks up on page 413, and it continues from there. So let's see where it ends. On page 742 is when it ends. And this one picks up from there at page 747. Ends, oh my god, there's hella huge index. Okay, forgot about that. Ends at page 1031, even though it's not actually page 1031. And this is all index. Over almost half the book is just index. Appendix A through F, and then actually here's the index, which is still a lot. Everything is okay, I promise. This is all maps, and yeah, see, it's okay if you heard that. These are all other Middle Earth stories to read from. They had a matching edition of The Hobbit, but I have an edition of The Hobbit that matches these covers. It's just the American edition. I'm not one of those people that is like, all my editions have to match. I'm fine with stuff not being the same height. Honestly, I'm like that because in years past, before I was like able to start affording to buy off of Amazon or Barnes & Noble and stuff, like I would thrift like all my books. I would buy all my books secondhand basically. And you really think you're gonna find everything at the same size? No, you're not. You're never going to. If you do, get it, because you'll never see it in that size again. So stuff like that doesn't bother me. Like I literally, so I'm on hauling the books, but I had Malice in the US paperback, and then I had Valor in the UK paperback. And that didn't bother me. It didn't bother me. If anything, I was debating if I had read those two books, which editions was I going to keep collecting in. So oh wow, this book is a lot more beat up than the other two, but that's fine. So I will eventually start reading this one again now that I have a copy that is safe to read. Like I can crack the spine without it. Also, it was taped already. I tried peeling some of the tape off, and then I peeled some of the cover off. So I just put more tape over the tape that was already there. So yeah, that's why that stuff doesn't bother me. Like I said, I spent like the first 15 years of my life, like I said, secondhand shopping for books. Anyways, yeah, so I can crack the spine and it's not gonna kill me. I can actually annotate, not just tab. I'm excited to finally get back into it because, like I said, these books are safe copies. So I need to figure out, oh, they're not in order. I need to figure out though where I'm going to put these two while I'm not reading them, because this one has a place on the shelf but this one doesn't, so rearranging is gonna have to happen. So yeah, oh my copies. God, I really can have a shrine of Lord of the Rings when I get a new bookshelf. I will have enough copies of just these two, this one series alone, and then Hobbit, and I'll have enough to have like a whole bookshelf dedicated to them, I think. I wanted to just update that because I think they're pretty cool. I was at Savers and I was like, oh, that's fun, because they had they had the movie covers in the American editions, and then they had these, and so I finally picked them up and I was like, ooh, they're UK paperbacks. So I'm a sucker for UK paperbacks, to be honest. And it's like, if I'm ever let loose in England, I will make such bad financial decisions. Okay, reading updates and also tiny book haul. But first off, I picked up Cursed Fates again. I'm on page, let's see, 427. Almost halfway. Still barely in. Today, I went to Savers, my local thrift store, and I found House of Leaves. I could not believe that I almost missed this. God, this is a long fucking book. Over 700 pages. My boyfriend says it looks like a textbook, and I agree. It does. I don't know too much about this. I mean, I kind of know, but I don't, and I kind of want to keep it that way for whenever I pick this up. All I know is that it's one of the scariest books ever written. So yeah, I am doing that to myself. Okay, so Saturday I went to Half Price Books. So I've read Air Awakens. God, that was like 2 years ago now. And I found Crystal Crowned. You'll understand why I picked this up in a second. It is book 5 in the series. So right now I own book 1 and book 5. So now I need to get books 2 to 4. But the reason I picked this up, it was only $7.99. It is hand signed by Elise Kova. And so my boyfriend was like, okay, well, you have to get it. And I was like, I guess you're right. It's only $7.99 for a hand-signed copy of Crystal Crowned. So yeah, this is my new book of my collection. So the thing was, I explained to my mom earlier, at Half Price Books, they had a great selection, but a lot of the books they had were not books 1 or even 2 in a series, which if they had book 2, they didn't have book 1. So like with Elise Kova, they had this one, they had the second Loom Saga book in the original hardcover, which I literally couldn't tell if it was the second book or the third book. I knew it wasn't the first book. And then they had the Fake Rate edition of the first book in the sequel series to this one, but I didn't pick it up because it was $14.99, and I was like, I don't know. I was digging how cheap this was. So now I need to go add books 2 to 4 to my DBR. So yeah, I don't know when I'll be picking those up, but either at the end of this year or going into next year. I don't know. Who knows? Book haul. Mini book haul. I just realized I don't know when I started this vlog, to be quite honest. I don't know when I started it. And so I almost feel like I should end it here just out of principle. I feel like it was a good vlog. You know, a good comeback, you know. I got a signed book. I got a spooky book, which is perfect for the season. I did some reading. I finished a book in this vlog. That is a very successful vlog. So if you enjoyed it, I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a like if you enjoyed it, because apparently that's good for engagement, and engagement is good. I'll make a video soon again. I don't know what it will be, but I'll make a video again soon. So look forward to that. It will probably be another vlog. So yeah, goodbye.